What happened with your first deal? Like after you got a renter in it, because I know you eventually sold it, right? Like, what happened there?
We rented it for like 18 months, and so we went through COVID with her, and I called her, and back to what I was saying earlier is like there was all this mixed information about how you should handle a renter in COVID.
Right.
So what we did is what most people wouldn't do is we called the renter, we called them both. I already knew one was struggling. She was struggling before COVID. Like she was going to struggle after COVID, during COVID.
It turned out.
So,
well, they were getting checks, so
I wasn't seeing nothing.
So they were dumping the money into stocks.
Yeah. Oh my God. So, anyways, I called the renter and I told her, I said, hey, look, how's it going? How is everything? You just got to be a human, right? Like you got to be a good human. Don't be a shit person.
Yeah, exactly.
And so
it'll work out for you in the end.
Yeah. Well, even if it doesn't, like you did the right thing.
Yeah.
Like even if you get nothing out of it, you did the right thing.
Right.
So I called her and I said, hey, what's going on? How's work? I just wanted to say like we don't know what we're rolling into. People are losing their jobs, whatever. If like rent is still due, but if you need help, I need to know. She said, okay. So for like 3 or 4 months, she was good. And then she called me one day and she was like, does that still apply? And I was like, yeah, what's up? And she was like, I'm going to be a month late. I said, okay, I'll tell you what. You pay by this date. I won't mark the late fee. I'll waive the late fee and all that stuff. Like, just keep me posted. And what it was is she was getting laid off from one job. And she was working in the mortgage business.
Oh, okay.
She got laid off from one company, but she had already applied to like 15 places and got a job somewhere else. So she was like in this interim of not getting paid. She was like, they're going to hold my check for 3 weeks.
She was going to be having a check, but it was going to be held out.
And she said, I'll pay you that first month after, and then the next month I'll start catching up. And I was like, okay, but rent still due.
Yeah.
But the first late fee I'll waive completely. Like, you just let me know. She was like, okay, done. So she did. She called it up, and then it went great. Well, then her parents got sick from COVID, and making a mess everywhere.
Yeah, dude, I spilled a little bit of water.
How much? What are you drinking over there? I see the Tito's. So, is that what's in there?
No, this is just water. It's a little too early to be drinking some Tito's or.
Well, I can see that because you just got it on the couch.
I know. I may be freaking right now. Who knows?
So we rented to her for like 18 months, and her family got sick. She ended up moving out. She was such a good renter. Like, she wanted to break the lease. I told her she could break it early if she needed to.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can get some money in there pretty quick. So I worked with her. She moved home to help. Like I want to say like her grandmother passed away, her grandfather passed away, her mom was real sick, and she was moving home to take care of her. And so she was applying to places out there. I was getting phone calls from new apartments like in the area, like in Columbus or something like that. And she moved out. Well, we went in and we said, okay, like we're gonna spruce it up a little bit. Right. And we'll just put another renter in it. Well,
yeah, I remember that.
She was such a good renter, but like she broke into the wall, like she fell into the wall trying to move her mattress. She slipped and fell into the wall.
Jeez.
And then she put this massive hole in the wall and she broke the toilet. How? I have no idea. But like that's
a hard task.
That's a hard thing to do. But she broke the base of the toilet, and she wasn't really like that big. But I don't know what she was doing. Maybe it was a bad toilet. I don't know. So, I just kept her security deposit. But I was like, okay, like after like that and like paint and and I try to let people like live there. Like if you want to put something on the wall, it's fine. Well, there was like 4,000 holes in the wall from like things being nailed in the wall. And I was like, oh my God. That and some other stuff had to be cleaned up. So we kept the security deposit. And we looked at everything and we said, okay, like it's going to cost like $5,000 to fix this up.
Right.
So I was like, why don't we just sell it? Like, we'll just list it for sale. Prices are high as COVID. Like, let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. We're making $400 or $500 a month on rent.
Mm-hmm.
Before.
It's not bad either.
That was good.
Yeah.
It's good. And before expenses, right? Before OpEx, whatever. $400 or $500 a month times 12, $6,000, right?
So that was before expenses.
Yeah.
So that wasn't profit.
Yeah, that was before like expenses, but after we paid the note.
Oh, okay.
Right. So like, because we rented for like $1,175, and then the note was I don't even remember how much, like $650.
Oh, okay.
I really don't remember. And then some other stuff. So like we were actually bringing in like $400 or $500 a month before we put some stuff aside for taxes, or whatever. and I replaced a stove in that year, like one of the wall ovens. They don't even make that size anymore. You have to custom order. It's like 28 inches.
Yeah.
So I had to go to Alabama. Finally, it's ridiculous. Anyways, so I realized like my idea of owning all these single family homes was like it's gonna take me a while to get there, and one bad renter kills cash flow for the year. Like if you're living on that money, that's not any money to live on.
Right.
Because like I made $6,000 in 12 months, and then she just moved out, and it cost me $5,000.
Right.
Like, yeah, you make money on appreciation and all that stuff, like whatever. But if you want to get out of a job, that's not, in my mind, it wasn't the way to go.
Yeah.
So
what did you end up selling it for?
we listed it for $185,
mm-hmm.
and we sold it for $215.
Wow.
In a price.
So bought it for $50,000?
Bought it for $50,000. Cash out refinance. Yeah, about 25.
Okay.
It was like 22, something like that.
22.
25. We bought it for $50,000, put 25 in it. Cash out refinance, pulled out like $118,000.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so paid the private money off, put some money in our pocket.
Right.
We took that, then we pulled out. I don't remember how much it was. We took the money and bought that mobile home at the same time.
Okay.
So we owed $118,000. We sold it for $215,000.
Pretty good margin there.
Yeah. Yeah, I was super happy.
Feeling like the man.
But we sold that like later, like 18 months later, 18,
right.
20 months later. Like
right.
we sold that. Like I was not even thinking about selling it until like I walked in and I was like, prices are crazy. Like, yeah, we could probably up the rent like a couple $100, but I'm like just getting started, trying to build some money, trying to build a war chest. Yeah, so like we went through that and we ended up selling. It was a great deal. I mean,
that's awesome.
And it was good because capital gains was long-term capital gains because it was over a year.
Yeah.
And so we only had to pay taxes on like $20,000.
Awesome.
Like 15% on 20, because I think the first 80 you pay 0%.
Yeah.
And then from 80 to whatever is 15, and then over that is 20.
So first deal you probably made somewhere around 75, 80, you think?
No, I mean you add it up. I mean we'll say 100
between 118 and then
between the 118 is what we owed.
Right.
In the 215.
Mm-hmm.
After real estate commissions.
Yeah, after real estate commissions and like you said, the capital gains.
Yeah, so a 70, I'd say 75 on the sale.
75, okay.
75 to 85,000
right.
on the sale.
Okay.
But then we made $500 a month.
Yeah, for the rent.
Minus the 6,000 or 5,000 we had to put into it.
Right.
And we had tax-free income
mm-hmm.
off of the refinance.
Right.
And then we took that cash out refinance and put it and bought that other lot.
Right.
So like really, you're over 100.
Yeah. Right. Easy. Technically, yeah, for sure.
And so and depreciation and all that kind of stuff. So
right.
Like, yeah, we made well over 100 if you add up everything on the deal. Yeah, that was probably my best or favorite. No, Carrollton, the house that we sold in Carrollton.
Yeah, that was good.
We had an STR flip, if you will. But that was my first deal. When we sold it, Al was like, "Are you sure you want to do this? Like, are you emotionally attached to this?" And I was like,